Yeah, no, yeah, you do. We all have a creator. We sure do, but y'all don't respect creator at all. So I get frustrated with things like that. It's very difficult to take you guys' religious practice seriously because y'all are just outstandingly dishonest. None of you are honest about it. And none of you do any activities or actions that are suitable. You just go, what you guys do, or what you guys what your culture is, anyways, for I don't know how long, but too long. You guys are professional consumers and you are professional narcissists, is what it is. You guys are parasitic in your nature, like I've already explained, especially you males and you male-minded females. Trust me, I know, because I used to be a male-minded female also. I still do kind of have those technicalities or brain, tweaks, but nonetheless, you guys are professionally abusive, professionally dishonest, professional consumers, professional victims. Yep, professionally cruel and corrupt. Those are the things that you guys are professional at. Sham and scam, shamming and scamming. That is what you're professional at. You're professional at trying to rush over the illusions and the delusions that you guys want to present as being the actual facts when they're not. And then insulting, even more insulting, when you introduce it into professional settings, themes, services, and products that really, honestly, I used to have a lot of respect for and I lost the respect for. When I started reading people's emotions up in those disclosing of information, trying to be passed off like it's actual factual information when it indeed was not, and it was very vague, and it was very dishonest, and missing of a lot of content that is undebatable. You can't even lie about it, because to lie about it means whatever. That's your guys' culture, and that's your language. Anyways, you have no respect for a creator. You have no respect towards the source and the creator that creates these materials that you guys make profit off of. And this would include the people who you guys exploit. And yes, you exploit. And then you have nerve enough to, why even go there? If you can't have any appreciation or respect towards that of which makes you rich, or that which makes your life more convenient, but you can't honor that to the ones who are making it convenient for you, or making it so that you can become quote unquote rich, then I have issues with you, and so does the creator. And I know this because I wouldn't think the way that I do if it wasn't so. You guys aren't saying and doing what you claim that you're saying and doing. You guys don't align with that. No, you don't. What you say is not what you do. What you do is not what you're trying to misinterpret, purposefully, blatantly misinterpret. So yeah, no, you guys are very offensive and insulting. It is very much a burden to be amongst you. It is not a privilege to be amongst greedy people. It's never a privilege. To be against violent people, it is never a privilege. To be amongst rapists and demonic creatures, it is never a privilege. It is never a privilege to be fatherless or motherless. It is never a privilege to be abused by your parents. It's not a privilege to be incarcerated for doing what is natural and a natural instinct, such as mothering your children and protecting them. It is never a privilege. It is not a privilege to be held accountable for other people's rape that they're doing onto you, simply so that you can do what? Not survive, because the money goes towards you males who found it considerably well to become pimps and to be exploitative off of our sexual reproductive manifestation. So yeah, and then the nerve enough more to put your hands on us, be disrespectful and aggressive towards us, be violent towards us, and taking our resources after we've jeopardized our bodies, and you instigated this deplorable act of living, and then you want to sit here and cry victim and say that you're the one who's the victim when you're really not, and you're doing these oppressive and disgusting vile things to us and raping us. I don't care. No, I'm not scared. I don't care what your excuse is. Nothing justifies what you've done. Nothing will justify what you've done to us. Nothing justifies how you treat us and mistreat us. Nothing justifies it. So yes, I have extreme problems. Yeah, if you're going to be incarcerating people, then you need to be incarcerating the proper people. If you're going to be advocating for people, you better be advocating for the correct people who deserve to be advocated for. Lots of y'all don't deserve it. Because you're aggressive, you're violent, you're abusive, you're exploitive, you're parasitical, you're taking, you're not returning. So you want, let's just say, go ahead and honor the word God. Even though I don't traditionally like to call Creator the real power that be, that sustains us. Because there's a lot of participants involved. Not what we've been brainwashed and deluded to believe. Okay, and beaten to believe. And that's another issue I have with you too. Let me go ahead and honor that thought before I move on to Creator, God, okay, which you guys call God, even though I don't like saying that. As a matter of fact, strike it down. I'm not going to use the word God. I'm going to say that of which you guys have the nerve enough to sit here and say that my God, my Creator, hates me and I'll burn in hell. No, I'm not going to burn in hell. My creators don't like y'all because you guys are selfish creatures who had the nerve enough to try and brainwash and beat people into being subservient to that which you know is a lie. You guys use fear. You guys play with people's minds. My creators don't play with my mind. And we don't play with people's minds just to get them to conform to what you guys consider to be a religion. I am insulted. I'm disgusted. Because if it is really that of which you're claiming is a higher power, and yes, there's higher powers, all right. There is. Just not the way that you describe it. Anytime that you go ahead and say, God, the man, you already know I got problems with you, and it's disrespectful. Meanwhile, you're disrespectful to the females on this earth, and right along with you male-minded females who are just as much a man as he is, based upon your mentality. Yeah, I don't have no respect for it, and I never will, because it's not respectable. So now, you shouldn't have to beat someone into submission if you're claiming superiority, or if you're claiming esoteric superiority, if you're claiming superior spirituality, if you're claiming anything superior and to being better, then you would never have to resort to violating or resorting to violence. And that's just the truth of it. Now, in instances, yes, I am never against violence. I feel like sometimes your guys' structure is insulting to me because sometimes some people need their asses beat or fucking done with. And that's just the truth. Because some of y'all are a nuisance and you're a fucking pest to the entire planet, to the entire universe. We're sick of y'all. We're sick of looking at y'all. We're sick of breathing amongst y'all. We really are. We are tired of you. Yes, we are. Because why? Because you guys are takers. Like I said, you're professional consumers. You don't reciprocate nothing decent. You don't give us nothing decent. You give us litter. You break us down. You take our resources. You build whatever you thought was necessary. You burn down the whole rainforest to create a resort. Let me repeat that. And what about the rainforest? Why is it a big deal? It's just some trees, right? No, it's really not some trees. And it was here way before your ass even came into existence, period, humankind. Way before your ass was, so this was years upon years to build it and create a home for all those living beings that you consider to be lesser than you. Okay? The rainforest, any given rainforest houses the most variety of beings, and you burn it down. So all of those beings that you think that you don't even consider, because let's be honest, you don't even consider other human beings to be, deserving of being, left alone or not having to suffer because of what you want. You guys want to do whatever you want to do, regardless of how many people or how many beings, how many creatures, how many living beings have to die, such a terrible death too, have to die because of you wanting to build a dead resort to accumulate your profit. I'm not against money per se. I'm against what you guys do just to achieve the access of money. That's what I have a problem with. I have a problem with the females and women being enslaved so that their bodies are raped. That is slavery. It's modern day slavery. And that is what's been going on. And who benefits off of that? The prison industry, the jail industry, the underground drug industry, the black market. You've got too much. You got perverts, pedophiles, kidnappers, exploiters, extorters, all of y'all demonic creatures, even the religious sector, the church, because now you can be saved. Saved from what? What about you? Where's your saving? Where's your decency? How come you can't be a good model for me? Why do I have to be a model for you and be taken advantage of? No. You guys have no respect for the female agency, period, but you don't even really know who she is, because if you knew who she was, you wouldn't do this to her. You wouldn't do this to any female, any woman. You would honor her, and you wouldn't be a selfish, self-centered, so-called superior. If you have to resort to violence and to manipulation and to deception and coercion, and debauchery and mental brainwashing and social engineering, anytime you have to resort to that, you are never superior. You will never be superior. And you certainly are not more superior to Creator. Now, I noticed that you said something about all the earnings of your organization, your corporation, but you didn't give any honor or glory to that which gave you the ability to do so. So while you're thinking that it's just you and I just made it on my own, but you just unearthed a lot of resources. This planet is not just a dead rock. This is a living being body with a conscience, and everything is conscious and conscience. So you're just unearthing and taking, but not replenishing. Burning down a whole rainforest, but you could not create that. You didn't create it, but you're making profit off of it. You're benefiting off of it. And you didn't care whose life you took. So you're dishonest. There was a whole lot of players. Let's go ahead and say, well, you're playing games because this is your game. And the reality, the seriousness of it, and the serious aspect, not the immature game, but the realness of it. There's a whole lot of players who you take for granted. The players that you don't see, the players that you can see that you disrespect and have nerve enough to believe that you're superior to, but are doing the actions, activities, and energy, making sacrifices on behalf of you and your games. See, I'm too adult to be playing games. As a matter of fact, I was never honored the privilege to have a childhood thanks to you, because you stole that from me. And then you have nerve enough to try and be a terrible parent when I'm already grown. No, I don't need your correction or your chastising. I don't need your discipline. I'm not the one who needs the shaping up or needs to change. It's you. So you don't care whose life you've destroyed, and you certainly don't give any honor to Creator or show any reciprocity at all. Like you think that you're the big pimp of all time. You're a terrible master, that's for sure. We can't even call you that. You're just a terrible tyrant and a thief. You see, it would be one thing if you had some respect within you, but you don't honor respect to Creator or the players, energies, forces, the beings that made it possible for that rainforest to develop in the first place. You didn't make that profit. They did. And you not realizing how vulnerable we are as humankind. You're not invincible, and neither am I. But the nerve of you, you're so arrogant. Your life is just as good as dead as mine can be. Just as much as you could take my life, this world, this planet, this universe, the forces, the real, true powers that be can take yours too. And there's very interesting ways of getting rid of you also. So while you're over here demolishing people's homes, and I'm going to call the animals people, because that's really the way you can look at it. They was not bothering you. That was their home, built for them. You're going to take down a rainforest so that you can make a resort. You had plenty of space to make a resort elsewhere. Why did you have to take someone else's home? The rainforest is home to, that is the home for them. There's so many varieties. There's too many. There's just so many people, animals, creatures living in the rainforest. Has the most, and it's the most diverse. And you don't know what you've done, or do you? Because if you did know that, if you made such a stupid choice, because it is a stupid choice, you throwing off the whole frequency of existence by doing stuff like that, by being stupid like that, and you can't replenish it either, because you don't have the power to do so. The real powers that be do, not you, not with your profit in your business, and with the structure and system that you guys, this is how foolish you are. You're too smart to be so dumb, because anyone who would make a decision like that to wipe out a whole entire field, a whole entire living, or you know how long it took? I don't even know how long it took in this human format. We weren't here. We didn't exist. And you're going to take their home and burn it down so you can make your temporary resort. And you guys are supportive of this because this is your game. So while you're preaching about Jesus up in your church is taking money, when the real powers that be, the real creator, the source and the force, doesn't need $1. Does not need, it actually gives you the possibility to make that dollar, as a matter of fact. But you don't have no respect. None. Because you would never be so arrogant to believe that you made any profit. And then be so disrespectful to this planet the way that you are. And then being disrespectful to women the way that you are. Because you guys are. You guys are terribly disrespectful to this planet and to women. And both are representation of who we are. This planet, us women. We bring you guys a home, and you have nerve enough to disrespect us like that. That's why I'm insulted. And that's why I speak up and say what I do. That's why I feel the way that I do. That's why I get so angry, because it should anger you. Anyone with a brain would be upset. But apparently many of you just don't. And to not care is so stupid. Because it's suicide. Like I said, you guys are so selfish. And it's really just, it's appalling how arrogant and absurd you are. And it's like nothing ever gets through. It always seems to be when it's too late that it go panic. I'm not going to panic. Why? You'll never be rich, by the way. You think that you're rich, but your money and what you have is not going to bring back that of what you're taking and you're destroying and murdering and mistreating. And by mistreating certain people, they stop trying to do what they would like to do or can do because of you. So there will be no replenishing. You can't enslave someone who's already dead by then. Their heart may still be beating, but they're already dead, spiritually gone. So you won't be able to force someone into doing what you think it is going to be needed to be done to sustain you and maintain this planet and you. So you guys keep on doing whatever you're doing. If that's what it means, if that's really what you want to do.